Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Welcome, one and all. And here we are, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, with this attack in D.C., and it looks like what I was talking about on my podcast yesterday morning is becoming mainstream thought. And on my next podcast, I'm going to go into some detail about this too, because what happened in D.C. On Wednesday with the shooting of those two National Guards, most everyone who's giving honest analysis of this agrees that this was a deep state op fulfilling the premise laid out by the congressman in their video from a couple weeks ago. And I went through a lot of this yesterday, but I'm glad to see now, because we're a couple days past Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, those of you that are not in the United States, Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday, so it's always a long 4-day weekend. And it is a holiday that everyone in the United States celebrates. In fact, it may be the only holiday that you could safely say that everyone inside the United States, regardless of their religion, ethnicity, nation of origin, everyone celebrates Thanksgiving in the United States. So the country shuts down Thanksgiving weekend. So when there's a major event like the deep state Islamic terrorist attack in D.C. on Wednesday, over a weekend like this, the news and people that talk about the news are a little bit behind on what's going on. But I read one article today. I'll go over this on my podcast, this article. I can't remember who wrote it, but it's on my X. When I podcast, I'll let you know, because I'll have it in front of me, Where did I read this from? Well, it's on my X. You guys can see it there. But one person was saying that this was the CIA attempting a color revolution. And if you don't know what a color revolution is, Google it, look it up. There's been several color revolutions just in the last 15 years, most of them in Eastern Europe, including Ukraine. And color revolutions, regardless of what your Google definition will tell you, more often than not, color revolutions are started by the deep state, no matter what country or what part of the world they're in. And we've got this CIA operative in the Senate who may be the leader of the secret government, the leader of the secret society, the leader of the deep state, who knows? And she was talking a month ago about how the National Guard deployment was going to lead to an incident. And then here we are. She was 2 weeks late, but we got the incident a month after she said that, about 2 weeks after they put out that video. And it looks like what it is. This is the CIA and other deep state organizations inside the United States have been doing this around the world forever and ever. I mean, we did it in one of the biggest examples that's commonly accepted as a deep state revolution was Iran. When we put the Shah of Iran in power in the 50s, that was a deep state operation. The anti-communist activities in Central America during the 70s and 80s. That was deep state too. And what they were trying to do in D.C. was get a firefight going between the National Guard and this guy, and they wanted to have friendly fire, where that's a very busy area. A lot of tourists there because it's so close to the White House. A lot of people leaving work early and everything because it was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. They thought, it would lead to a firefight with friendly fire shootings by the National Guard onto civilians. And they thought that there would be civilians shot and killed by National Guard in a firefight. Well, the National Guard were so good, so well trained, so efficient, they took this CIA Islamic Afghan terrorists down before anything like that happened. They had control of the situation. In fact, Debbie Wasserman Schultz gave an interview yesterday, and she had like the talking points that you would have if things didn't go the way they did. And well, why was it the president's first thought of removing the National Guard? See, if you go back and follow the history of the lawfare and deep state coups against President Trump, with a few exceptions like the assassination attempt in Butler and at the golf course here in Florida, most everything they do is to try to turn MAGA supporters and the public against him. This is what they do in these color revolutions around the world. They create incidents and try to turn the public in a certain direction. And they keep trying to do that with us. Well, we're smart people. We see what's going on. We've got the new media, and they can't sell that line of garbage to the American people. But they're so arrogant, they keep trying over and over again. So they thought that this attack on Wednesday would not have turned out with a takedown of their stool pigeon so quickly, and that come Thanksgiving, and then yesterday and today, the American people would be demanding that Donald Trump remove the National Guard from American cities. And everybody knows what happened, okay, in D.C., just like we know what happened with the assassination of Charlie Kirk. In fact, Kash Patel said this week, there's a story on my X about this too, Brian Craig Show on X. Kash Patel said nationwide, we have the lowest murder rate nationally than we've had in decades, if not ever, in this country. The murder rate is incredibly low. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. That's my first sip of coffee all day, and I've been up for hours, so I am behind a little bit. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video. That helps a lot, too. Yeah, it's a little chilly here in Florida today. It's 59, 60 degrees, which is the dead of winter, blizzard-like weather for us here in the tropics of sunny South Florida. So my feet are cold, I'm cold, and it's cold by our standards. For the rest of you, you probably call this summertime weather, but this is snowstorm weather for us in Florida almost. But that's what happened, and I'm so glad that everyone is seeing this and calling it out now. No doubt about it. It's scandalous. And I'll tell you, Trump is pissed. Trump is pissed. He knows more about this than we'll know ever, and he is fuming, furious over this. And he's not messing around. That's why he did away with all Biden's executive orders yesterday. I mean, he's just fed up. There's no meeting of the minds with the left. And what the liberals have in their mind is that if they come back into power, they are going to put all these people in prison. The Trump administration, guardsmen, officers, generals, anyone who was involved in this, they're going to put them in prison. That's why they're trying to set this narrative of lawful orders and Nuremberg trials and all this crap. They're planning their own Nuremberg trials. That coffee is too hot to drink. It's like McDonald's coffee in the 80s, boiling hot. Simple mind, simple narrative. Yeah, that's the liberals. These deep staters, they think everyone's stupid in the country, and they can pass all this crap on with us. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Do you agree with my premise, my theory on what happened in D.C., meaning it was deep state that put this patsy up? That's what it looks like to me. No question. I have zero doubts in my mind. I'm convinced. Do you guys agree, yes or no? Yeah, most everybody agrees. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Look at that. Look at all those yeses. That's amazing. Yeah. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Well, everything they do is to try to turn public opinion against Trump, and it has an opposite effect. J.D. Vance, he gave an interview. I was reading the article on Breitbart this morning. It was about the jobs numbers, which were very good. But J.D. Vance said MAGA has got to get united again. And that's right. We've got these assholes out there, Tucker, Nick Fuentes, Candace Owens, that are, and a couple others that are involved in this big MAGA divide when we're on top of the world. You know what I mean? That's part of the same deep state operation, some of it on Tucker's part, that is. Hmm. Exactly. MAGA needs to. I believe MAGA is united. I think we've got a handful of people that are compromised that have a lot of reach with people and make it seem as if I think MAGA is very united. We just have these like famous people out there that are getting this narrative going as if we're not, right? Tucker and the others. That's my take on it. I was watching last night. Megyn Kelly thinks she's taken over Turning Point. I don't know. I mean, I have no real strong opinion or anything against Megyn Kelly, but I don't think she's the girl to take over Turning Point. Mm-mm. No, I don't think so. I think she's too old. The purpose of Turning Point is to reach out to young people. And Megyn Kelly is as old as the grandmother of the people you're trying to reach. So I just think she's too old. I don't know if their ratings have tanked. Candace said she was the #1 podcast in the world a couple weeks ago, which I don't know. I mean, then she took off a week. So, scariest thing about Candace Owens is that she homeschools her children. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. There's a street cleaner behind me, cleaning the parking lot. They're going to come get the garbage can. Marjorie Taylor Greene, hold on, I got to mute it because the music. All right, I'm back. I had to mute it because the street cleaner, he was emptying out the garbage cans. He was blasting music. What? Who? Oh man. Since I haven't had all my coffee yet. What is the? Who sings "Take These Lonely Wings"? Who sings "Take These Lonely Wings"? What's that song? "Take These Lonely Wings." Who sings that song? I forgot. Somebody in the chat will know. Oh, I cannot remember. When I finish this cup of coffee, it'll come to mind. Unless somebody in the chat tells me, then. Mr. Mister, yeah. Is it Mr. Mister? He was blasting it. Full blast. Mr. Mister. So I had to mute everything. Yeah, I thought it was Journey, too. Someone said Mr. Mister, but I thought it was Journey, but... Is it Journey or Mr. Mister? Take These Lonely Wings. I think it's Mr. Mister. It's got to be Mr. Mister. I don't know. My mind's not totally working when it comes to music trivia right now. But he was blasting it full blast. Yeah, it's Mr. Mister. I like Mr. Mister, but, he was blasting it. And it was a little strange, too, because, isn't that like white guy music? I was surprised. It's not, whatever. I like Mr. Mister. Well, anyway, back to what we were talking about. Everyone knows Broken Wings. Yep, Broken Wings, Mr. Mister. Everyone knows what happened in Washington, and no one's buying it. And Slotkin, she's like the new Liz Cheney. That's pretty obvious. All right, she's taken over the role. She even has similar mannerisms. But she's definitely leading the opposition. And she wants to be, and she may already be, the leader of the deep state. Now I got Broken Wings in my head because I was listening to it full blast while you guys were muted. So, it backfires. I would really like to hear all this talk of the death penalty and everything for this guy, which is fine. However, I'm not hearing it called a terrorist attack enough. Right? Is Mr. Mister really a one-hit wonder? What are their other songs? Better to be a one-hit wonder than no hits at all and not be a wonder. Right? I often wonder, like I was watching on YouTube the other day a concert with the guy that sings "Video Killed a Radio Star." The what's the name of the group? Starts with a B. It starts with a B. And I'm thinking, what's it like for that guy in concert? Who wants to hear his other songs? Right? You just want to hear "Video Killed the Radio Star." He should just get up on stage and sing video. Yeah, the Bumbles, yes. He should just go up and sing "Video Killed the Radio Star" for 2 hours or 90 minutes over and over again. That's what people want to hear, the Buggle, yeah. Right? Is anyone interested in anything else the guy is going to sing? Exactly. I went to a Billy Joel concert once, and he got it in his head he was going to sing all his new songs. Nobody wants to hear those new songs, Billy Joel. We want to hear Piano Man, Goodnight Saigon, Allentown. We don't want to hear that new stuff, Billy Joel. Right? It's the way it is. You got to feel bad. Like there's a great song, "Forever Young." It's one of the great songs of all time. What other songs do you want to hear that guy sing? Just go up and sing "Forever Young" for 90 minutes. A long extended version. We don't want to hear anything else, man. We love you, but that's all we want to hear. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, there's no housing crisis. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been compromised, and she's forever destroyed herself. Unless she would come out and confess what's really gone on, and then maybe, right? But she's done. But yeah, hey, listen, She got her tens of millions of dollars in her 5 years in Congress. Pretty good, huh? 5 years, 25 million. And I heard, I don't have this confirmed, but I read somewhere on social media that does she have a house in Costa Rica? My goodness, what's that about? I'm curious what the future of Brian Glenn and her will be, and what his future will be. Her pension is with 5 years is about $45,000 a year. It's no more than $45,000 a year, I don't believe, for 5 years. I mean, I'll take $45,000, no doubt about it. You know, for nothing for the rest of my life. Plus, she probably gets health care as well. But Brian Glenn, I don't know. Are they going to last? Is he going to still be in the media? Is Trump going to give him the first question? I don't think so. I think his they're either going to break up or he's going to quit the DC media, because she was his N. If he went back to right side, I like the guys on right side, but right side's a little dry these days. I kind of like what they used to do. Right side, if they brought me on board to take live calls, now that would be exciting. I like the guys on right side. They're good, but it's just a little dry. I liked when they, were at the events. And I know Trump's not doing rallies right now. Yeah, the Paul Pelosi School of Investing. That's where Marjorie Taylor Greene went. But this second term of President Trump is going so well. It really is. He said yesterday, he hinted that they're going to start going after the cartels on the land. It's about time. I mean, these drug cartels kill more Americans than Al-Qaeda ever did, don't they? Who's killed more over the years of Americans? Who's killed more Americans? Al-Qaeda or the drug cartels? I would say the drug cartels, wouldn't you? By far. No doubt about it. Oh, yeah. Americans. Who's killed more Americans? The cartel. Oh, yeah. I don't even know if you could put a number on how many people they've killed in this country. I mean, think about it. How many people have been victimized? Not just killed, but just had their lives destroyed or been the victim of a crime because somebody was robbing them or breaking into their house to get some money to buy cartel drugs. Yeah, the cartels are... They've killed far more than the terrorists, than the Islamic terrorists, of Americans. Right? If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Yeah, it's cold for Florida. It's cold. I wasn't going to live stream out here because it's so cold. I was going to take my coffee home and live stream, but I said, what the heck? The coffee's so hot though. I thought it would cool off a little bit in this cold weather, but it is not. Oh man. But no, the second term of President Trump is like perfection. He is so organized and working so hard. I don't know how he had time to make all these plans to make the second term go so well and perfectly, with all the lawfare and everything they were doing with him between assassination attempts. Perfection. Yeah, the second term has been perfection. Gas prices are under $2 in many, many states. Isn't that crazy? Oh my goodness. You couldn't deal with real cold? Yeah, that's right. That's why I live in Florida, right? That's why people like me have moved to Florida. We don't like the cold, no. You couldn't handle a job. How about that one? You're right. I live in Florida because I don't want the cold. Oh, this is the most effective presidential term of any of our lifetimes. Any of our lifetimes. I'm very interested in what's happening in Ukraine, right? Because they're reporting about the raid of his number one guy, number two guy, whatever it is, of Zelensky's guy over there. There's been reports that's not been detailed and a little sketchy that this raid was on Zelensky's office too. Would you be surprised if you woke up this morning and found out that Zelensky had fled the country and abandoned Ukraine? I would not at all. No. Where would he flee to? What country would he put himself in? What do you think? What country do you think Zelensky would be exiled to? Like if he fled and Zelensky fled, where would he go? Colombia? Nah. Florida? Florida's not a country, we're a state. Would it be the United States, a European country? Caymans? Yeah. Australia. Nobody likes Zelensky. No one likes Zelensky. Is his TV show still on Netflix? I watched it on Netflix. I watched the whole first season. Was it one or two seasons? In the last episode, I don't know if it was in the first or second season, when Zelensky is an actor who becomes president of Ukraine. I watched it when the war first started. It was on Netflix. And in the last scene, he gets a phone call from Putin. Isn't that crazy? I don't know if it's still on Netflix. But I watched it. It was, it was weird to say. It was weird. You think he would be exiled to the United States? Russia has too much influence in Europe. It wouldn't be a good idea for him to stay in Europe. Canada, I could see Canada. And the weather's kind of Ukraine-like. It gets cold. Yeah, I could see Canada. Yeah, they'd probably love him in Canada. Oh yeah, no, he's got money stocked away like no one's business. How many billions? Who knows? But he's got money stashed away. Antarctica's not a country, international zone. California, those are states. I think Canada's probably good. It could be the United States. I could see him fleeing to the United States. Yeah, our money. That's exactly right. See, that's the problem. If he flees, will President Trump let him keep the money? Ireland. Yeah, Ireland, that's right. He'll move down the street from Ellen or in the UK or Rosie. Mm-hmm. See, if he pisses off Trump will take the money. He'll be able to get the money out of the banks, even if it's in Swiss accounts or Cayman accounts. Trump would be able to get it. France, they love him in France. I could see Zelensky in France. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they love him in France. Let me ask you this. Give me a yes or no on this. Do you really think Macron has a hit out on Candace Owens? Does anyone believe that? Give me a yes or no on that. Is Candace Owens that important to them? Wow, got some yeses in there. I don't think so. No, I don't think so at all. Mm-mm. Now, she may believe it because she's crazy, but I don't think so. Wow. People are saying yes. I'm surprised. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Mm-mm. First off, it's too high profile. Too high profile. She's in over her head. Well, I'm not saying they're happy with her. Ian Carroll. Give me a break. Who cares what Ian Carroll thinks? He's so far up Candace's butt, Ian Carroll. He should go back to his grocery store videos. Those were good. No, I don't think they have a. I'm not saying they're not pissed off at her. Oh, they're plenty pissed, but it's too high profile of a thing. Too high profile. First of all, to do that to an American would be crazy, but to a famous American, quadruply crazy. No, I don't believe it. Now, that doesn't mean that she doesn't believe it, right? I'm sure she believes it. As much of a narcissist lunatic as she is. She's completely insane, and she's a narcissist. Ian Carroll's as crazy as she is. Anything's possible. Well, if you go by that premise, make Kamala sober again. Yes. Exactly. I saw she was back with the collard greens at Thanksgiving, Kamala Harris. And no makeup in the kitchen. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. I'm not sure what I am going to do today. I put up Christmas lights around the house yesterday. And I was just a little bit short of getting completely around the house, so I got another string coming to do the back of the house tomorrow. Down with Making America Great Again. Why would you be against Making America Great Again? A commie? All these communists are millionaires, right? Kamala, Zohan. By the way, did you see Zohan Mamdani's response? A National Guard has been murdered by a terrorist, and he referred to it as her passing. Oh, MAGA's back in business, no doubt about that. We've never been out of business. MAGA just keeps winning, absolutely. It's freezing out. My feet are cold as hell. 59 degrees where I'm at right now. 59. That's like ice cold weather for us in Florida. Yeah, Zohan is an idiot. Total idiot. He can't really criticize it because he doesn't want to piss off the Muslim world, right? It's a sad thing. I mean, And now I saw a story. They interviewed someone who knew the girl who was assassinated by this deep state Islamic terrorist. Oh, she thought that the National Guard shouldn't be here. The dead tell no tales. So people tell us, she volunteered to work over Thanksgiving. She could have, she didn't take time off when she could have, so that guardsmen with family could stay with their families and everything else. She was very proud of what she was doing. To say that is to take her sacrifice away, When is the last... Now, Fort Hood is different because that was on a military base, okay? And that was an Islamic terrorist attack on a military base by an embedded Al-Qaeda in the army. When is the last time off of a military... Because Fort Hood doesn't count. Like out in the regular country, when there was an attack like that on service personnel where one died. How long has it been since a U.S. soldier has died on American soil outside of Fort Hood? Like I said, that was a different incident because it was on the base. I'm talking about off base. In an attack like this, in a fight, I don't know if I can ever remember one happening in my lifetime. Do any of you know? An attack, a battle by U.S. soldiers on U.S. soil off base that resulted in the death of a soldier. I don't know of one. Not in my lifetime. When was the last time it happened? World War II. There was there was a lot of fighting in the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. Civil War in the mainland. When is the last time this has happened? I don't know. I'm surprised they haven't pointed this out in the media. I haven't researched it. but it's sad. Pearl Harbor? No. I would probably say after Pearl Harbor, there was the Japanese occupied some Alaskan islands in the Aleutians, and there was some hard fighting in the Aleutian Islands where guys died. So maybe that then, but maybe since the Second World War. But Alaska and Hawaii are not the mainland, and they were territories at the time. When is the last? Have you seen Stormy Daniels lately, Dave Thomas? Oh my goodness. In the mainland United States, when is the last time a U.S. soldier has fallen in the line of duty outside, off base in the mainland? In the mainland. Civil War. Because remember, Hawaii and Alaska, they were territories and, of course, not the mainland. But in the mainland United States, I can't think of a time it's happened. Again, like I said, Fort Hood's an exception. That was on base. Talk about off base. I know it's crazy, isn't it? It's insane. Completely insane. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not the mainland. I'm talking about in the mainland United States. Mainland United States. The lower 48. What happened in Chattanooga in 2015? I'd forgotten about that one. A battle with a foreigner? It is sad. It's god awful. It's god awful. Do you think President Trump's going to go to the funeral? I would think so. I hope so. Pete Hegseth will. Mm-hmm. Trying to decide what I'm going to do for the day. But I still stand by my theory that this was a deep state hit. The attempt to start a color revolution. No doubt in my mind. I've never watched South Park. I've seen a minute or two here and there. I think it's very overrated. I don't find it funny. And it's so anti-Christian, I would not watch that. I've seen a clip here and there when it's made the news, but not for me. South Park's not for me. I don't watch things that make fun of Jesus. I'm sorry. Nope. Not for me. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Mine was awesome. We kind of did a thing. We did takeout from Cracker Barrel, which is awesome. We started doing that a couple years ago. I like it. And then, so we did a mix, though. My daughter did some cooking that she brought to the house, but it was mainly the Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel saved their company. They almost screwed up real bad if they would not have done that reversal. No, it's awesome. There's no cooking and there's no dishes. And it's good. Good American food. Very good. It was packed, too. No, smart. Very smart. Of course, don't have the leftovers, but that's okay. Now, we'll probably do the same thing for Christmas. Well, I'm not a conventional kind of guy. It's very busy out here for 5:47 in the morning on a Saturday. You know what it is? People were locked up for Thanksgiving, so they got cabin fever. They're busting to get out of the house. Yeah, we'll probably do that for Christmas. Oh, yeah, it was spectacular. I couldn't even eat all of it. They give you huge portions. It was awesome. We had turkey and ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, pumpkin pie. I'm not into sweet potatoes. Everybody else likes sweet potatoes. I don't like sweet potatoes. Not into sweet potatoes. Can't stand them. Everybody else loves them. Had all kinds of stuff. My daughter brought the ham, though. She made the ham. Oh, yeah. I have pumpkin pie in the refrigerator. I do love pumpkin pie. When you get older, you get smart. Spend 2 days cooking, make a mess. You do the takeout from Cracker Barrel, no dishes, no cooking. And it's probably better than you could make yourself. Now, if they would not have reversed their policy, wouldn't have done it. Wouldn't have. 26 and snowy, move to Florida. I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's going to be like in the mid-70s today, so it'll be nice. I was thinking about taking my MAGA scooter up to Mar-a-Lago today. The president's home, so, security gets real tight when the president's home. It's such a nice drive up the beach road to Mar-a-Lago. I love it. No, I'm not into fishing. I did see some planes flying around up towards Mar-a-Lago yesterday. I don't know, jets. I don't know what was going on. Just on patrol, I guess. But it's their normal patrol. Yeah, Air Force One's here. It used to be, in Trump's first term, you used to be able to get pretty close to Air Force One. Now, you can't see it. It's completely, they have it walled off. They have it surrounded by big, massive school buses. The school buses that are like a city bus that have a flat front, and they're back to back, and they form a wall around Air Force One, and you can't see it. And there's soldiers there as well. Yeah. But you can only see the tail above the buses. It used to be you could see the whole thing, but not anymore. It's because of, they're trying to kill them all the time, right? Since Butler, things have changed. Yeah, big yellow school buses with the flat fronts. They're massive school buses, and they surround it like a wall. Mm-hmm. So you can't really, you can get about the same distance as in the first term. You just can't see it. Mm-hmm. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. I'm Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Yeah, I know. If you could see it better, I would go up there. But they've been doing that. If you go on my channel, I've got a lot of videos here of going up to the airport and showing Trump Force One, Air Force One, and some great videos of Mar-a-Lago. Great videos of Mar-a-Lago, right up to the front gate. I even have some video I took inside Mar-a-Lago. I tell you, when you go inside Mar-a-Lago, when you go inside, when you go into the gates, there's an entire army in there. It's crazy. It's an entire army. You wouldn't realize it till you get in there, and then boom, it's crazy. It's really it's peaceful though, but an entire army is in there. Now this is a venti hot blonde Americano with half and half. And 5 shots of espresso. Okay. See, 5 shots of espresso. But I don't go up there and vlog anymore because I don't want to show everybody the new security. The security is so much stronger than it used to be. Whew. You can't walk around Mar-a-Lago like you used to be able to, for good reason. And nice, it's also trending in the news today. See, they're getting ready to come down with indictments on the break-in of Mar-a-Lago. That's why these stories are dropping, that the Mar-a-Lago break-in was to try to find... They had in their mind that Trump in his personal safe at Mar-a-Lago had a binder that had all the documents of Obama illegally ordering Brennan and Comey to spy on President Trump even after he became president. That's why they broke in. There's some indictments about to come down on that. Pod-o-Lago, yes, those are podcasters that podcast from Mar-a-Lago. Pod-o-Lago, you are correct. Podcasters at Mar-a-Lago. Indeed. But it might be too cold to ride the MAGA scooter up there today. I'll see when the sun comes up. MAGA mania, no doubt about it. MAGA for life. You know, they don't understand. MAGA is here forever. MAGA is here forever. I mean, think about you guys on the left. You're actually taking a position against America being great. Why would you be against America being great? There's no housing crisis. In fact, there's a lot of vacancies. With every deportation is a vacancy created by Trump in a rental property near you. Mm-hmm. That's right. Every deportation is a job created by Trump and a rental vacancy created by Trump. That's right. And in New York, another hotel room available for rent. Yep. It's true. That's true. Trump's creating jobs and rental vacancies every day with his deportations. Man, this thing in D.C. has backfired on them so much. Trump is stopping all third world immigration of the country. That's basically everyone, right? No more third world immigration into the country. Mass deportations of Afghans. All of Biden's executive orders gone, dispensed with. I haven't seen the list of the orders yet. Yeah, that what the deep state did with this Afghan CIA terrorist in D.C. on Wednesday has backfired on them like no one's business. President Trump is pissed. Remember what Tucker said? Daddy's home and he's pissed. Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. You know, and what President Trump is doing is amazing. Our oil production is at an all-time high now. Everything is going so well. Rosie is just a psychopath. I don't know how she has so much money. I know she's made money, but she really hasn't worked in a long time. I don't know how she affords to not work. She is really a sad woman, Rosie. I used to like her. She used to be fun. Remember, she was the first time I ever heard of Rosie O'Donnell. She was a VJ on VH1. Anyone remember that? She was a VJ on VH1. She has a physical deformity. Some of you may know about this. Her arms are too short for her body. So if you ever see Rosie O'Donnell, right, and she does pictures, she always does this. Like she'll move her arms like this. Or something similar, so you don't see her arm length. She has like dwarf arms. She can't help that, but it's true. But people used to like her, right? Right? She was a VJ on VH1. I don't know what she did after that. And then next thing you know, she was friends with Madonna, so she was in a league of their own, and she was really good in that. Not really. She hasn't done much for residuals. How many residuals can she get on a league of their own? And then in the Flintstones, and then she got on The View and just turned into a poison person like everybody else who becomes a host on The View. Poison people. A local celebrity had one tiny hand. Oh my goodness. She's just got a lot of daddy issues. She's got a lot of daddy issues. She's got a lot of issues with men, and she channels it through Trump. It's too bad. When she did her daytime talk show, they called her the Queen of Nice. Can you believe that? The Queen of Nice. Because she was likable and nice back then, although she was doing that fake thing that she was in love with Tom Cruise. Remember that? She had this whole thing that she was in love with Tom Cruise, and then Tom Cruise was on the show, and she was like, what was that all about? But they called her the Queen of Nice. Isn't that crazy? It's amazing how things change. Now I don't know what she is now. She's not the Queen of Nice. I'll have to let Trump come up with a nickname. Trump's very good at the nicknames. If you're new to my channel, make sure that you subscribe. She's not a Scientologist, is she? Mm-mm. Well, she's so self-important to leave her country over Trump. But I'll tell you, prayers for the other soldier who was shot by this deep state Islamic terrorist. I mean, as soon as they said the guy worked with the CIA, everybody knew what happened. I mean, come on. Could they be more obvious about it? But they don't care because they think that we are all stupid. They're so arrogant. They think they're so, President Trump is so smart, and MAGA people are so smart, and they think that we're all stupid and that he's stupid, right? Rosie O'Donnell may have the worst case of Trump derangement syndrome on record. And so they think they can pull this crap and people aren't going to realize it. Coffee's finally kicking in. I can remember that was Mr. now. Mm-hmm. Oh, President Trump's amazing. He really is. I mean, I love this presidential portrait wall, and then with Biden they have the auto pen. That just cracks me up. God help us, the Democrats ever get back in power, they're going to put, the Democrats plan on putting Pete Hegseth in prison. You know that, right? For war crimes, overseeing the National Guard and everything. Anyone who's connected with that, they're going to put in prison on war crimes. Is their plan. Trump's going to have to pardon everyone that ever worked for him. Everyone. Oh, the auto pin portrait's amazing. I mean, that had to be Trump's idea. Who would come up with that? That is hilarious. Philadelphia, welcome. Yeah, I'm just trying to decide what to do today. I have some errands to run, but I'm not sure. I'm not used to having days off, so I'm a little antsy. I've got my first Christmas party I'm going to next week. Memphis, welcome. See, I cannot believe how busy the road is. Stream all day. You guys don't want to watch me all day, do you? I might do a podcast today. There's so much going on. I was going to podcast this morning, but I didn't have any coffee at home, and sometimes I like doing these Saturday. I do this on Sunday sometimes too, and just laid back, casual live stream. If you missed my podcast yesterday morning, go back and watch it if you missed it. Had some very good calls. Some of these idiot liberals. Did you hear this guy that said he calls himself a right-winger? What an idiot. Yeah, the roads they're not usually this. This is like a weekday. It is Saturday, right? Is it Monday and I forgot? Oh, man. Well, every holiday, when people are locked up on a holiday, when the holiday is over, they want to get out of the house. They get cabin fever. It's amazing what we went through during the lockdown period. Although I wasn't locked down at home, I was out every day. I went to the radio during the lockdowns. I went to the radio station every day. I don't know why you would say something negative about a man who was assassinated in front of the world. I mean, what kind of person are you? Louisiana. Do you know Mike? He's from Louisiana. He may be the most famous living person from Louisiana after the speaker. I don't get these back-end parkers. It seems much more difficult than to just pull in normally. My daughter likes to back in. I don't get it. My daughter comes to the house. She backs into the driveway. I don't get it. I said, why do you do this? I don't get this. There's this guy here. He could have already been inside. Trying to back up, park. I don't get it. I'm not a back-inner parker. Do you guys get that? Oh, it's easier to get out. Yeah. But it's much harder to park. Any of you guys back-in parkers when you go out? I don't get that at all. It's a safer out. I don't know. Cars have so many damn cameras on them now. Give me a break. I mean, they are literally driving themselves. Alarms going off and everything. Nah. Insurance scam? I know, like my insurance company, they tell me that my insurance rate will be lower if I put a monitor in my car so they can monitor where I'm at and driving all the time. And I'm like, I don't think so. Why does my insurance company want to monitor where I'm at all the time? Right? I don't like that at all. It's probably a way to gather data to sell so they can make money off of where you're going and where you're at. But I'll tell you, yesterday, my wife and I, this was nuts, okay? We were watching YouTube yesterday afternoon, and I was watching this live stream at a bar in Key West. And they had this singer on, and she was a live singer, and she was singing, and it was like just boring music. And I was telling my wife, I said, Last time I watched this live stream, the guy was really good. He was singing Hall & Oates. And now this girl here, she put me to sleep. And then I close out of the live stream, and then it started recommending me music. It said, your favorite music. YouTube was recommending me, your favorite. And the first thing was Daryl Hall's YouTube channel that got recommended to me. And I was like, what? Is my TV listening to me? Was my TV listening to me? Why did it recommend me Daryl Hall's YouTube channel? I'm like, what the heck? I know, it was scary. I mean, I know phones do that. But the television? I mean, what are the odds? It was the number one, your favorite music, and the first one that came up was Daryl Hall's YouTube, which, by the way, is a good YouTube channel. He has people over and they sing in his barn. I didn't know the television was doing that. Yeah, we're all being monitored. Oh, this guy needs brake pads. Hear him? Hear that? He needs brake pads. I know, it's crazy. It's totally insane. I mean, I have an Alexa in every room, but back porch, bathroom, every room of the house, kitchen. You know, we as a society have 100% given up privacy, haven't we? We have totally given up privacy. We don't care about it anymore. Everything you do is monitored. Everything. I mean, you know, I don't care for the most part, but, you know, the government has all that data. Oh, yeah. Alexa listens. All those devices listen. Absolutely. They all listen. They're always listening to you. And things are recorded. Oh. We've become so accustomed to all these gadgets, though. I know people will say, I don't have that device. Well, you know, you're watching me now, so you have enough devices. You're being totally tracked. I mean, you know, the cookies from every app and website you go to track everything you're doing. Yeah. Oh, AI, yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I don't know. It's not that I mind it or don't mind it. It just is there. I mean, we just have accepted it, right? We've just accepted it. You know? It's not that we're for it or against it. I mean, you know, we've just accepted that's the way it is. And there's no way to get around it. Right? Like anytime when I go on Instagram, which you guys follow me on Instagram, Brian Craig Show on Instagram. Anytime I go on Instagram, it feeds me nothing but, and I don't use Instagram that much. I post pictures up there from time to time, but all of the ads that I get on Instagram are ads targeted to media people and influencers. I get a lot of stuff about podcasting equipment, things for your YouTube channel, services that give you news and information for media professionals. It's all I get on my Instagram feed, just nonstop. You know, because even though I don't use Instagram, it knows I'm a YouTuber, it knows I'm a podcaster, because my phone's listening to me, and it keeps serving me up ads. It's really amazing. Same thing goes here on YouTube. You guys don't see the same ads on YouTube. There might be some exceptions to that rule, but the ads that you see are tailored to you. I mean, I have the premium, so I don't get ads on my YouTube. I pay for the premium. But Instagram is just the ads. It's just ridiculous. Nonstop trying to sell me podcasting equipment. Like they've got this new thing that they keep pushing. It's a carry case where you can podcast from anywhere for audio podcast. Oh, premium YouTube is the best. No commercials. It's not that much either. I don't recall what it is, but whatever it is, it's worth it. No ads for the premium. Oh, J.D. Vance is awesome. Trump did good this time with the vice president. Pence, I never trusted Pence. Never trusted Pence. Automatic online pay, $19 a month. It is worth it. That's how much YouTube Premium is. Yeah. I like it. I've had it for years. It used to be called YouTube Red or something. It was called something else before. I've had it for years and years. It's well worth it, especially if you watch a lot of YouTube, which I do. But no, this there's no doubt. I have zero doubt in my mind that this attack on the guardsman. Notice no one's taking issue with everybody calling her a National Guardsman. I'm surprised. Where's all the feminists, the feminazis? I have zero doubt in my mind that was a deep state op in D.C. Zero doubt. I know it 100% in my bones. I feel it. And I think most everyone agrees with that. You know? No doubt in my mind. As you know, you look at it's so obvious. He worked with the CIA in Afghanistan. They set him up with a great life here. That video the congressman made, Slotnick, a month ago, was predicting a incident with the National Guard. And then this clip with Debbie. On the next podcast, I'll play the Debbie Wasserman Schultz video. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was on TV yesterday and said, why wasn't the president's first thought to remove the National Guard from this? Oh, my goodness. She had her talking points as if, things turned out differently. Yeah, I was talking to my Patreon supporters the other day about this. By the way, if you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to exclusive streams and commercial-free editions of my podcast and stuff. And somebody had asked me the other day what I do for a living, and I was a little, I told him, but I was talking to my Patreon supporters. I don't know if I'm a radio host, a podcaster, a YouTuber. I don't know what I am in a word. Yeah, a Kent State scenario. That's what I was talking about on yesterday's podcast. They were trying to set up a Kent State scenario, right? That's it. Oh, Debbie. If you saw her in person, you'd be shocked. Have you ever seen her from the waist down? Holy smokes. Her top half and bottom half don't match. It's like two different bodies put together. Really. It's very bizarre. Find a full picture of her wearing pants, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah. She's one of our South Florida congresswomen down here. I think she might be Steve Kane's congresswoman. I'm not sure. She might be. But she had the talking points that didn't fit exactly what was going on. She had the old talking points. No, she's not a nice person. And most liberals are deranged. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, guys, all right? My name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you check out my podcast from yesterday morning. I go into all the details about what happened in D.C., all right? I'll see you.